Hi there, this is Mr. Tحولت from Madrasa Net. Dear followers, welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about Algeria. By the way, I'd like to congratulate all Algerian people for this day. You know, it's the 1st of November. What does it represent? What does the 1st of November represent for you? It is the Revolution Day, the Algerian Revolution Day. So Algeria and Algerian people, happy Revolution Day. Actually, I'm going to make presentation about Algerian Revolution or Algerian Liberation War. Yeah. What is the Algerian Revolution War? When did it start? And what were the reasons behind its beginning? To talk about it, we need to talk about history. We need to go back to the history, to the time when France invaded Algeria. That was about 2 centuries ago, when Algeria was an Ottoman regency. The French invasion of Algeria dates back to the 19th century. In a meeting in Algiers in 1827, Hussein Bey, the Ottoman ruler of Algeria at that time, got so angry at Consul Duval, the French consul at that time, that he pointed at him with his fly whisk, ordering him to go out of his palace. The fact that was used by France as an alibi or as a pretext, as a reason to attack Algeria. In fact, France had been on its way to turmoil because of so many social, political, and economic problems. As a consequence, King Charles X, the King of France at that time, wanted to distract his people's attention towards his foreign policy by triggering a war against Algeria. King Charles X at that time organized a military campaign to invade Algiers. The campaign started by a 3-year blockade against the port of Algiers. It was just like an economic sanction. This military campaign continued even after the capture of Algiers on July the 5th, 1830. However, native Algerians didn't accept the humiliating surrender of Algiers by the Hussein Bey, and ultimately began resisting the French conquest. Then appeared the early popular revolutions led by very famous leaders. Ahmed Bey organized a rebellion against French troops. Other revolutionary leaders appeared, like Prince Abdelkader, who is often referred to as the founder of modern Algerian Republic. Also Fatman Sumer. Those leaders paved the way to the upcoming popular revolutions in all the country. France didn't only send its troops to conquer Algeria, but it also sent colonizers to exploit it, turn mosques into churches, and build European cities to live with their families there. In addition, the French colonizers who came from all over Europe treated Algerian natives as slaves in their homeland. By the year 1939, the Nazi Germany appeared as a powerful nation that would invade the whole world, or at least the whole Europe. In fact, France was a potential enemy. Therefore, the Nazi Germany invaded France in this World War II, and Algerian youths were forced to join the French army to fight for the honor of France. And at the end of World War II, Algerians got out into the streets to demonstrate and celebrate the victory of the Allies in World War II. The Algerian flag appeared for the first time in those celebrations or protests. Protesters shouted out in favor of independence, of Algerian independence. The French police got so angry at the protesters that they opened fire, killing nearly 45,000 people. Killing people, torturing them in Sétif, Guelma, Kharata, and so many other cities in Algeria, all over the country. Although Algeria was under colonization and racist rule, many intellectuals emerged, leading to the appearance of political parties and important organizations like the Muslim Scholars Association, led by Abdul Hamid ibn Badis. In fact, this was a very famous political party leader. His name was Misali al-Hajj. Among the Algerian elite, a group of 22 leaders planned to initiate a united revolution that would cross the whole country and unite the whole country and people from all regions and background in Algeria. And that this war would be a revolution that would end the misery that people suffered for more than a century under French rule. The Revolution or Liberation War was triggered on November the 1st, 1954, in spite of the strong reputation of the French army at that time. And by the time the National Liberation Army imposed itself through guerrilla attacks, in mountains, villages, direct confrontations with French troops, ambuscades and street battles, especially in Algiers, where brave men were leading the attacks that terrified the colonizers. France reacted violently to the Algerian Revolution, committing genocide and assassinating political leaders and theorists of the Algerian Revolution. In fact, the success of Algerian Revolution was due to the fact that people embraced it after Benmhidi's, Al-Arabi Benmhidi, after Benmhidi's call, get revolution into the streets so that people will embrace it. On January 1957, people went on an 8-day strike as a response to the FLN call. By 1958, a temporary government had been organized and Algerian revolution had been acknowledged by the United Nations organization. In fact, Algerians were so determined to take freedom that France submitted to the fact that there had to be negotiations to put an end to the war, atrocities, oppression, killing people, treating them violently by French troops, hijacking leaders, political leaders, and at the end of all this, there were negotiations to put an end to the war. And the first meeting with FLN leaders was held in 1960. In 1962, a referendum was held to decide the future of Algeria. And more than 99% voted for independence. July the 5th, 1962, Algeria took independence. Dear followers, thank you so much for having watched this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Madrasa.net, share its link, and encourage us with your likes. Goodbye.